We are live. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Paul Bursey from successcafe.tv. And let my co-host introduce himself.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's Warren Conley here, also from successcafe.tv.
So I would say to you, Warren, how's your week gone? But I think I know.
Very uneventful.
It's funny that the headline for this one is "Passion and Purpose are unstoppable," but I think you've been stopped in your tracks a little bit.
I have been, and that's why when you to answer your question, you asked, and I said, yeah, that depends, and you asked, well, based on depending on your health, and it's like, no, that depends on your health, really, yeah, but.
So I believe you've been suffering from COVID-19.
COVID-19, 2018, 17, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is, yeah.
All of the above.
Are you on your way back to fitness?
I don't know about to fitness, but I'm on my way back to health.
All right, that's main thing.
Yeah. I still don't feel up for any kind of fitness at the moment. Man.
Well, let's get going. We won't make it a long one today. We'll be as in and out as quickly as possible. So passion and purpose are unstoppable. Would you agree with that?
Generally, yes. If you find the right purpose.
Last week, next week, but not this week. Right.
If you find the right purpose,
yeah,
then by all means, yes, it can be unstoppable. And the passion that comes from finding your purpose can change worlds.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, whatever your purpose is, it has to be something that evokes or starts some kind of feeling within inside of you that drives you forward. Because to be fair, unless you've got that, things aren't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, it's not the getting started. It's the problem. It's the continuation. It's the learning to be consistent and sticking at it and being tenacious and everything. Because what happens is, if you start something lightly and it doesn't cost you in some way or other, then you'll freely abandon it when things don't go to plan.
True. Yeah, when you say cost you, if it doesn't cost you anything, do you mean like is the cost being a consequence as such if you don't, or
what it cost? I mean, it could be either way. I mean, either it could cost you money, or it could cost you time, or it could cost you both. It will cost you in emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has to be a purpose that you are truly want to do. Because if it's not, and we've all done it, we've all chosen to do something, whether it's a hobby or a sport, and you think, well, actually, no, I don't really want to do that, having started it, and because it doesn't fire you up, and you want something that's going to get you up and go every day.
True.
And you haven't got to force yourself. You haven't got to motivate yourself. You haven't got to inspire yourself, because you really want to do it from deep down.
Well, this is the thing about motivation, and this is what we've spoken about in the previous conversation, is that motivation is something that should happen every single day. And it's the same with passion. Passion should just come naturally to you each and every single day. If you found your real purpose, then when you wake up in the morning, that passion should be firing in your belly.
Absolutely. Yeah, it should be. If you're passionate about something, I think it means it becomes easy to start each day. Uh-huh. It actually becomes natural, because that's who you are. That's what you're doing. Unfortunately, so many people start something or try to work out why they're not doing something.
It's actually funny you should say those exact words, because I'm doing a course at the moment which you're aware of.
Yeah.
And I've been very blessed in that I haven't had to pay for this course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm very grateful for the fact that I've been able to continue on the course without paying for it,
Hmm.
because everybody else pays. But I've
Yeah.
just been blessed enough not to have to thus far. However, I will, because when I started the course and I discovered this course, it dawned upon me that this could be my opportunity to literally change my life and change the world around me. And I'm determined to. Have the passion and the determination and that purpose within me to discover yet through this course in order to fulfill my objective of starting the course in the first place, even though I haven't had to pay for it thus far. Whereas for most people, if they get given an opportunity like that, like you said, if there's no value involved, if there's no price to pay, most people will
No,
just
that's right.
brush it aside. Yeah, the moment it becomes challenging or it becomes a little bit daunting, they will just give it up because, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about having skin in the game, as they call it.
And this is one of the reasons.
Skin in the game means an investment,
Yeah, an investment.
and it doesn't have to be money.
Yeah, you're right. It could be a commodity, some trading, some kind of investing through some form of trade or barter system, and even an emotional commitment.
And it's very rarely about money because you know you can earn money out there. Okay, we all know you can earn money out there. But I've been in programs where it costs £25 to get in, and I've been involved in programs that are £22,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you now, there was more passion with the £22,000 one.
Yeah. Which is one of the reasons why so many people in our industry never succeed, is because that investment is not valuable enough to them, logically speaking. Mentally speaking, the value for their investment in the business is not at a premium value. For example, like if they were purchasing a McDonald's franchise, which costs how much? It's it's way into the millions in terms of dollars and that.
If you get a small one, you can get them for about $250,000, but it has to be quite a small one,
Like an express, like a
but it can be anything up to a couple of million, as you say, and you've got to be passionate about what you're doing then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just wasting money. So.
And I've seen people do that. I worked for a couple that did that. They came from the construction industry and they came into the restaurant. That walked into the restaurant industry, having purchased a franchise in South Africa, South African franchise restaurant chain, and they lost everything because they mentally they were in the game, but they didn't have the passion for it.
Yeah,
they were out of their depth. When it came to the passion, they were stepping into a completely new world, and they thought because they had done successfully in construction, they could apply the same work ethic in the restaurant business and be successful at it. And nah, unfortunately, they lost everything. Such a shame.
Well, I heard people say that to be successful at anything, you need to obviously be passionate about it, but the passion has to extend further than money, because if you weren't getting paid for it, would you still do it?
Yeah, that's a key question. Huh?
And that's basically how I look at it, and you need to make a difference. I don't care what anyone says. Inside of you need to know that you are doing something valuable that's assisting people as well.
Mm-hmm.
It can't just be about you, the selfish side of you making money. It has to be much bigger than that.
Well, in the beginning, you may make money if that's your attitude, but it will come back to bite you in the ass eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because let's say you're in a business opportunity and you bring in half a dozen people. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I would want those 6 people to earn money, or at least be in a position to understand what they're in and take full advantage of what they're in. And if they don't go on to make money, having been shown everything, been coached or mentored or whatever, and then they decide to drop out, well, then that's their choice. But I think it's very, very important that I've been in businesses before where some people have not done very well, especially that one that was 22,000 to get in. It was hard nose. It was a hard business. But there came a tipping point, if you stuck with it, where it suddenly all fell into place. And that's where people, were dropping out.
Just before that tipping point.
Before the tipping point, because they weren't prepared to do what was required to be successful. Because yes, you can pay a lot of money to get in something, but it's the next, what I call this is something I call it, the next 2 years. It's what you do in the next 2 years in the investment stakes.
True.
And most of it is not money. Most of it is attitude and mindset.
Well, in my opinion, it kind of goes back to the way people are generally in life. Like I'll be happy when I have, or life will be better for me when I've got, that kind of stuff. So they can't decide to be happy in the struggle, in the moment, when they're in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they are not able to see beyond that point, and then they just get stuck in a quagmire of anxiety and stress and whatever. Then they become disillusioned, they lose their passion, they forget what their purpose was for starting a business in the first place, and it all falls to pieces eventually.
Whatever it is that you're doing or trying to do, it must really matter to you.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, yes, we enjoy doing it. If you're passionate about something, you enjoy doing it. It's as simple as that. But you must get to that stage where it's a must. Because if it isn't, you're wasting your time. That's my personal opinion. So, and you've got to have, the other thing is that if you're in something you're passionate about, the energy flows. Don't ask me where it comes from. I don't know. But I can tell you, if you're in something that you're passionate about and it's something you feel strongly about, you'll find the energy without any problem.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't say you haven't got to look after yourself. I just mean I think it's a mental thing, a lot of it.
It is. And I can tell you that because when you say it's something that you're really passionate about, you'll find the energy from somewhere. Having done what I've been doing for 21 years now, sometimes when you're working from early morning till late at night, with people, you're working both mentally and physically, you have to find the energy from somewhere.
Yeah.
And no matter how passionate you are for doing a business like that, working as a personal trainer or working in the health and wellness sector with people directly, individually, and in groups, you have to find the energy from somewhere. And passion definitely helps. Having a passion for it definitely helps. The rest of the energy comes from, as you say, who knows where. I can get into that, but not right now. But that's definitely something that is, you can actually teach yourself how to harness that power, that energy.
Yeah, harnessing the power and harnessing your focus. I mean, your purpose must be focused on other people as well, not only on yourself.
Not just yourself, true.
No, not just yourself, because it's. I don't think it's enough, unless you are like a professional athlete who really does have to focus on what they're doing. But I think that if you're in a business that it's a people business or whatever, you must be focusing on certain people within that business to help them become better and grow.
Well, even with a professional athlete, at the end of the day, they all understand that if it's not for the fans, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing.
Yeah, it's not so much with an athlete, but maybe a footballer or a rugby player, or
if an athlete as well. And if you think about an athlete, there's fans involved, there's sponsors involved, there's people that have invested into that event, that sport, from an advertising perspective, and athletes understand that these people are either putting their time, their face in front of the televisions to watch them, or in the stadia, and they understand this and they get it, and they know that they're also providing a service to the fans, and the sponsors, and the people that are putting money into that sport. So that in itself is also motivation, because that they know this is where their money is going to come from.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has to make quality decisions, but I think you make better quality decisions when you're actually focused on helping people.
Yes, true.
That's
true.
Yeah. So, I'm talking about motivation. Motivation comes from inside, and I think it's really, really powerful if your people are relying on you, if you're sincerely interested in helping people. I think that's very, very motivating and inspiring, and but I think people do lose their drive. They do lose their mojo, as it were, and that will come if you're not dedicated to the right mindset and the right work ethic. I mean, it's great having the purpose and the passion there, but then we get down to the nitty gritty, and it's about obviously work ethic and the how many times you do something, the practice, and the habit and things like that.
Habits.
Yeah. So, what was the last thing that you can remember that rang your bell, that you thought, wow, this is it? Can you remember something like that?
Business wise, or
anything
in life?
Anything at all.
This course that I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Obviously
really
in certain different areas.
Yeah, and I mean, also I started late as well, so I initiated late into the course, so I had 2 weeks basically to catch up on. And man, I've put my hours in for that to make sure I caught up. So because I was that determined, and I still am, and I'm still working through it, and I'm doing it on my own. Although there's because I'm not paying for it, I'm not part of a bigger group. So I'm doing it by myself, and but I'm still doing it. I'm still putting in the time, and I'm doing the material, and I'm doing the daily things, the daily habits, and creating the momentum for myself, because I see what the potential value behind this is. So this is the most recent one I can call to mind.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about I'll come to it in a second. But we talk about passion and purpose, and that will only last if you've got a track to run on. Whatever it is, whether it's training or whatever, it's a training program, because you need to know the outcome. What's going to make the difference is you say is going to be your work ethic, and your dedication. And I think that one of the big challenges is that people don't know how to be dedicated to something.
Also, that and I think in addition, you mentioned about the track to run on. So very often people they're not provided with the right tools to equip them to succeed. And this is in all businesses, I believe. Very often it's people are put in positions and then they're not really truly equipped to succeed. They're expected to follow and just comply and apply and wing it and see where they get to, without really being trained and equipped emotionally, mentally, and all of these things, and then to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. So you asked about me. The last time, I still believe that things come in varying degrees. So something you're really, really passionate about that hits the top rungs of the ladder, are going to be the things that drive you the most. However, there's different, I don't know how many rungs there are on a ladder. Let's say, for argument's sake, there's 10. Okay. You've got, I think, to get the best out of you, it's got to be a 10. There's 10 rungs on the ladder. It's got to be the number 10. And you don't always come across that. Sometimes you come across something that comes in an 8 or a 9. And along your journey, you've got to decide whether that's good enough for you.
Well, I don't. Before you get to the point, your point here, because I trust you getting to somewhere there based on your story.
Yeah.
But if you're starting at an 8 or a 9, you can always make your way to a 10. It's not that difficult to find your way from an 8 or a 9 to a 10. However, when you're starting below an 8, I believe it's so much harder.
Yeah.
It's that much harder. That to be successful it's going to take a lot more concerted effort in order to be able to maintain any semblance of passion.
Yeah. Because you're going to have to talk about bridging the gap.
Yes.
And sometimes what happens, I think, with human beings is that you don't really, deep down, you really don't want to bridge the gap, because what you're looking for is a 10 and you're making do with an 8. And now it must be different for everyone, but I've had the best results when it has to be a 10. Has to be a 10. I mean, the current business I'm in at the moment, I would say is a 10.
Mm-hmm.
I have no hesitation whatsoever. Other ones I've been in, I wouldn't go in anything lower than about a 7. I don't think. I don't think I would do that. It has to stir some emotion in you, even when I'm training and that. It has to stir enough emotion. So 7 is probably about the lowest I would ever go.
Okay.
But even then, in my world, it has to be an 8 or 9 just to even consider it most times. So football's, soccer is one of my passions. So anything to do with football, normally gets a big thumbs up. So I'm thinking about becoming a mentor to younger referees at football.
Good.
I'm also thinking a bit about becoming not an obsessor, but an assessor.
Assessor.
Where you trying to help, you grade referees and things like that and try and help them get better.
That would be good. That would be good.
Yeah, so that's to come. But at the moment, I can still. Even came from this afternoon. I've been running around a football pitch this afternoon refereeing, so so I can still do it. So as long as I can do it, I'll probably stay doing it. But who knows?
Why not plan for that as well? You could still be doing both.
Yes, I think I am. That's the theory behind it.
Before I left for Dubai, I was in the throes of applying to become an assessor as a lifeguard trainer.
Mm-hmm.
So assessing lifeguards and things like that. I was going to do my examinations to become an assessor for that. It's exciting. It's nice. It's because as you say, you have the opportunity to be a mentor to younger folk, and give them an opportunity to be equipped.
It's funny. It's because today there was a player that was playing for the team that lost 5-1, but actually probably would have, in another day, probably would have got man of the match. He showed more aggression, more fight than anybody I've seen for a long time. But the first 2 tackles he went in, it was a development game, so you can tend to be very slightly lenient, when it comes to booking players with a yellow or a red card or whatever. And he was starting to go in with both feet, so not bouldering on danger. Bouldering, you get to that stage, you can see what's going to happen. So I pulled him over, and I explained to him. I said, "Look, you can only go with one. You have to hold the other one back." because the power of your 2 feet together will break someone's ankle.
Yeah.
I said, but, and he did. He learned, but straight away he learned from it and had a very effective game. Really effective. And he came up to me. We had a conversation. I'm not going to go into the conversation. It was all about what I'd done before and things like that. And I just said, look, I've been around the game too long, and I always think that if you can develop someone, develop them, even if it's only within a few seconds.
Of course.
And he thanked me afterwards. He said,
Well,
I've learned a lot today. He said, he's only 17, 18. So that was good. That was quite I find that quite interesting.
It just shows just a moment, taking a moment of your own time and energy to pull somebody aside and actually have a quiet word with them, how they can impact their lives, even in the heat of the battle.
Yeah, what I say to people, even if it's a foul, I just say to them, look, I said, if I was a manager, I'd be proud of you. But unfortunately, I'm the referee, and I've got to pull up and try and explain why it's a foul, because they're just showing enthusiasm.
Yeah,
getting stuck in, and they don't even know they've fouled someone. A lot of the time, they think that they've done a great tackle. Well, if I was manager, I'd be saying, well done. So I try and make them laugh, and that's half the battle. So going back to our subject of the day, purpose and passion. If you can crack these two, I think you're well on the way to becoming unstoppable and reaching your goal. That's what this is about today. So I want to ask you a question. So what is your purpose? Not you necessarily, Warren, but everyone listen to this. What is your purpose? Why are you doing what you're doing? Are you helping others? Is your purpose unselfish or is it selfish? Now, I'm not going to tell you if anything's right or wrong. I just want you to know what you're doing. Are you willing to sacrifice the comforts? The old comfort zone. But are you willing to sacrifice the comforts of your life to achieve some kind of purpose? Because it could come down to that, because not everybody's going to agree with what you're doing.
Of course not.
No.
That's not what we're here for.
No, that's right. You've got individual's got to decide what they want to do and then go ahead and do it.
And in the same breath, if you're sitting watching this and you don't have something that is driving you through to a purpose, and you may be in a job that you've been doing for, I don't know, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, but there's no purpose for you in that job other than a job and an income and a salary. And that's perfect. That's fantastic, because if you have that and you have that level of security to some degree, that's fantastic. And also ask yourself the question that Paul put forward to you is like, what is your purpose? And if you feel that there is something missing in your life, where you could have a purpose of, that's bigger than you, something that's bigger than you. A purpose is about fulfilling an objective, or it's about fulfilling some kind of passion that is bigger than you. It needs to be bigger than you. Otherwise, it will never get you out of bed in the morning. And especially if you're doing it as your primary source of income or your primary business, it's got to get you out of bed in the morning. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in limbo for who knows how long. But if you are a person that's in a job right now and you feel that job doesn't give you any sense of purpose or passion or drive on a daily basis, it's not to say that you're in the wrong place or that you've been doing the wrong thing for however long. But try to ask yourself that question, is like, what could my purpose look like? What might that look like if I did have a purpose? And if that gives you, if you start developing a picture in your mind that is something different and away from what you're doing right now, then explore the possibilities for yourself. Don't be scared of that. It's never too late. I mean, in all honesty, it's never too late to start again, or even just to start while you're doing a job, get something going for yourself on the side, a little, as we say, a side hustle,
Yeah, side gig, side hustle,
yeah. Doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if it takes you 2 years, 3 years, 4 years before you can, have enough income coming in to give up your job and that, because at the end of the day, you would be in the same place you are today in 2, 3, 4 years time if you didn't start in any case. So it's better, get something going and give yourself that purpose, give yourself that passion, that drive again, and help and if anything for yourself to begin with.
Oh, you've seized up. Warren, I can't hear you. Just on a side note, while I'm waiting for you to click back in. You're back. You're back. Sorry, mate. You froze for a minute. No. I don't know if that was you or me. And just on a side note, talking about purpose. Did you ever see a film called The Jerk with Steve Martin in it?
Yes, I did, but I cannot remember.
He's a white fellow living with a Negro family, and it's a fantastic film, because he when he finds out he's white, he thought he was black, and it's really a good feel-good factor film, where he goes out in the world, and until he talks about his special purpose. Well, you can guess what that is. it just came to light. If you ever get the chance to watch the film, it's a great film with some
the Jerk,
really great lines in it.
I love Steve Martin. Steve Martin is fantastic.
Yeah, because obviously, black people have got great rhythm, haven't they? I mean, and they're fantastic singers, dancers, everything, and but in the middle of the night he wakes up and there's some music playing, and he shows he starts to show that he's got rhythm. So he wakes everyone up in the house, say, "Look, I've got rhythm." It's very hard to put it over how funny it was, And
1979,
he didn't have rhythm really, but there you go.
Wow! 1979.
So give a chance to watch it. The Jerk, brilliant film. So anyway, back to this very quickly. If you haven't discovered your purpose yet, don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time to find something that you are really passionate about?
And don't wait till next year.
Yeah. On the Healthier Life coaching, I did one yesterday, didn't I? Don't wait or something. And
what are you waiting for?
Yeah, what are you waiting for? And that basically means don't wait for the 1st of January to do this, New Year's resolution. Do it today. Mm-hmm. Or the very latest, do it tomorrow. But what I'm saying is, don't wait.
Because every day is a new year.
Absolutely. You start a new day afresh anyway. Because you can't. Doesn't matter if you had a great run yesterday, if you're trained for the marathon, or you had a bad run. It really doesn't matter. Because I used to say I didn't have many bad runs, but I had a few. And then when I had a bad run, I'd say, "Do you know what? You did fantastic getting out here.
Good for you."
Yeah, and that's years of being around personal development. If I had a great run, then it was a great run. If I had a bad run or something similar, then it was still a great run. And that's the way it should be. The fact that you're doing something that most people don't do should be celebrated.
True.
Absolutely. If you anything, business, sport, doing an exam, doing a degree course.
Look,
that's fantastic. You're doing it.
If you're over the age of 40 and you're doing anything out of the 9 to 5 white picket fence, family, 2 dogs, cat, bird, pigeon, parrot, fish, 5 kids, if you're doing anything outside of that, okay, and even if you have that and you're doing something in addition to that, celebrate the fact that you're doing that. Celebrate the fact that you have the courage and the gumption to actually do something different for yourself. And it's never too late to start something. It really isn't. The passion and purpose is still there within you, even if you've never discovered it for yourself. It's still there within you. You just need to discover it. And sometimes you just need a little bit of help. You need a helping hand, a guiding hand. Sometimes you need to kick up the backside. But when you do discover it, and if somebody's there to help you and to guide you and to walk with you through that journey, it just makes it so much sweeter when you do figure it out for yourself. And then you start to apply that into your life. Oh man, the feeling is just, even if it never creates anything of real success for you or your family, it doesn't matter, because knowing that you're living your purpose is what really matters. I mean, that is what really matters, living your purpose. Because that's what we're here to do. We're not here to struggle and suffer our butts off every single day.
Absolutely not. No.
And if you're going to suffer, you may as well enjoy suffer while you're suffering. Enjoy what it is you're doing. So why not?
Right. So the key thing for me is you've got to have passion and purpose. We've spoken about that. Okay. And there is the end game, the outcome, the goal, the dream, the end of the road. All right. The winning tape, if you want, whatever it is. Okay. But the decision is made before you start. It's not made on the journey. This is where people, I think, get it wrong. The decision is made day one, when you know what the outcome is and you expect to get there, right? And this is when the decision's made. When Michael Phelps started swimming, he wanted to be Olympic champion. He knew he was going to be Olympic champion. Okay, and anyone doesn't know him, he's a swimmer, American swimmer. He's probably won more medals than anybody else in the Olympic Games.
Individual medal.
And the decision was made the first day that he had a grueling schedule of swimming up and down the lanes. That's when the decision is made. And forget about the outcome at the end. If you do, from day one, if you do the right things, you will get there. That's the difference. Okay? And that's when you make the decision, right at the beginning. So if you're in a business and you know that you want to earn X amount of money, okay, and you know what the position is in the business, but the other thing you need to know is, yes, it's history. I'm going to do it. However, with a business, a little bit more different, because then you need to know, how many people do I need to help to get where they want to go? Because if you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. You pay attention on them, yours automatically arrives. Okay? So yes, you can be a little bit selfish, but make sure that 80 to 90% is unselfish. Okay? You got to have a little bit of selfishness in there, because otherwise you won't make it. Trust me.
One of the greatest business sages of all time, Jim Rohn, said that was, if you can help enough people to have what they want in life, you will have everything you want in your life.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, it's our subject's done today. Warren, do you want to add anything to that at all? Oh, hello, where's he gone? Anyway, he's vanished. He's gone. Anyway, have a fantastic rest of the week, and I hope you get what you work for. Okay, I hope you get what you're passionate for, and follow the right purpose, and just work hard, dream, and go for it. Get passion and purpose, and you'll become unstoppable. Okay, see you all later. Cheers.